Hi, favorite family. My name is Clarice, and I am the owner of Favorite Stationery. Please get your book online at favoredstationery.com. So, I figured out that we just have to get in here when we can. So, he's had a long day of work, and I've been doing my thing today. So, I know you're tired. I'm tired too. But we are here for y'all today. Today we're going to be talking about who are you at 40?
I wouldn't know.
So Bay is 40 and I'm on my way. So he just had a birthday. And okay, before I get to that though, I forgot about my announcements. So lately I've been pushed to do more vlogs. And I just want to say props to those people who do vlogs all the time because it's kind of ghetto. Yeah, it's a lot of work. And so even with me doing them, I'm not even getting half of my day in, but I will be trying to do more in the future. So not only is Michael over here with me, but he just did a video. Was it last week now? It's been a few days. He did a video on his own channel. So I am so proud of you. I am so proud of you. All these gains you're making. And his videos are very good. They're precise and to the point. Always getting a message from you when you leave them. So I encourage you to do more. And I just can't wait. I know you're working on some things. And so I just can't wait for you to give us more. So that, and do you want to tell them how you almost burnt down our kitchen, or we want to save it?
I mean, it happens.
You want to tell them real quick, just the short version?
Let's see. So I was making tacos for the family, and I decided I was going to do something different. And normally I just kind of toast the tortillas, but I decided, you know what, I'm going to fry them and make some hard shell tortillas instead of like toasting them. Put some grease on the stove. I was listening to a video too. I was listening to Miss Okia's video. Those who know. I was
What you just
I was listening to her video and wasn't paying no attention, had the stove on, and you know, it was just a little bitty pan of grease. Had my earbuds in, and all of a sudden I hear a whoosh, and I was like, what is that? I turn around and the stove is on fire.
Toyota almost burnt our house down.
So I take the pan and like my instinct is like, all right, so what I've seen is like just like smoke it out or so I take this pan off the stove, set it on the sink, and then I take we have these dish towels that hang from the oven. So I take one of those and I just put it over it, and it's, you know, it goes out, and I'm like, ooh, cool, we good. So I take the towel off, it comes back up, and I'm like, what is this? First off, how hot did it get that it came back on? God. Put the dish towel back on, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna leave it on there, let it completely smoke it out, kill the flame. 2 seconds go by, and then the dish towel catch fire, and I'm like, okay, I don't know. Like, what I do know is you can't pour water on a grease fire. So at this point, I'm panicking. I'm like, all right, I can't pour water on. And then I was like, this is a small pan. The towel's on fire. Let me just put it in the sink, turn some water on. Turn the water on. Fire gets bigger. At this point, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have to go knock on the neighbor's door and tell them to get out the house.
Oh my
I don't want their
God.
house to be burning down with mine. I told the kids to come on downstairs.
And I just happened to not be here.
Yeah, she was with my daughter, and I was like, all right, boys, we're gonna have to get out this house. Eventually, the water works, and it completely clears the flame out.
I can't keep no dish towels because every time he is gonna figure out how to burn them up.
Listen, we here for a good time, not a long time.
Oh my gosh!
But that it had me shook. I had my son. I mean, the whole house. I almost died because I couldn't breathe. I had inhaled so much smoke. It just wasn't a good situation. It wasn't worth the shells that I made.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it again though. The kids like the food, so afterwards they was like, "Make these again," and I was like, "Okay." Look at God.
I can't. I'm glad that I thought quickly to. So my son had, well, both of them actually. But my oldest son has this inhaler, and we had just gotten it. He was sick not too long ago, and I just thought to give that to him. And of course, he went outside, for a sec, and he slowly came back to himself. My baby almost went to glory.
We almost lost our house. I mean, I've seen some kitchens burn up, and I was just like, never be me. It's almost me. You don't realize how much you panic in these situations.
Yeah, I think you had your adrenaline was. Yeah. You explained to me how you felt shaky.
Yeah, my hands were shaking afterwards. I mean, that hadn't happened.
Because you thought you was almost gone.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna put all this fire out. Like,
oh my God!
Because we had curtains right above where the flame, it went up.
I didn't think about that.
Right above the sink, and it was just like there's so many things that can catch fire right now.
And y'all, I have this fire blanket.
She didn't tell me that.
I've been told y'all that.
I didn't pay no attention.
It's right there in the kitchen. It's in an emergency kit.
Who would have thought that I needed a fire blanket?
So that would have been the best thing to use in that situation. But he just, in the moment, you don't be thinking. And I get it. Had it happened to me, I probably would have been doing the same.
She's bought a lot of things that we hadn't used, so.
And we'll continue.
Listen.
I told him I want to get that thing that stops you from choking. It's like a little suction cup. But it's like, it costs a pretty little penny, but I just want to have it around the house or in the car just in case.
She doesn't realize she has 2 boys that will get that and hurt themselves.
Probably so. I won't tell them about it. Okay, so child, we're good, and we thank God.
Amen.
Because I mean, this stuff, seriously, on a serious note, it can happen like that. So
yeah, we were close to taking me to the hospital because I couldn't breathe.
Yeah. And I have seen the series. I mean, you started, but you didn't finish. It was just too much. But I've seen the series This Is Us. And, the dad, he goes while he's trying to save his family. And so I just thought about that, and I was like, okay, let me get into action here. And I thought about the inhaler, and yeah. So I love you, babe. I'm glad you're still here.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Thank you.
Okay, so let's get into the actual episode. And it is, who are you at 40? And so this was inspired by your birthday.
Oh.
So you just turned 40.
Big 40.
How do you feel?
40.
Okay, so the first question is, how have your standards changed? And so I'll answer the first thing. What I have here is, okay, favorite family, now that I'm sitting here editing, I'm realizing I didn't do the best job with explaining myself here. So what I'm basically trying to say is that I'm quicker with knowing when it's time to go, when it's time to leave a space. And I'm more particular about the rooms I place myself in, because there's just no need for unnecessary drama. I will snatch my purse and go. Okay. So you want to tell them about the time we had a storm off. You ain't got to tell them with who, but how we tried to storm out of somewhere.
She stormed off. And I'm sitting here collecting the rest of our stuff while she outside. I'm like, we leave, and I'm sorry.
So we were at a family function, and I felt a little disrespected, and and I was just like, I'm going home. But I guess I didn't really tell him. What did I say? I had to say something to you.
I don't know. She had went to another room, and we were all out in the other room.
Yeah, because I went to the other room to collect my thoughts, because I was sitting there and I was feeling some type of way, and so I just went to the other room to collect myself. And while sitting back there, I was like, why am I here? I'm going to go home. Yeah. I got an address.
And listen, I was just there, and we just kind of figured, like, she was just like, come on, we going. And I was like, all right. And I could have left the Uno cards, but I was like, give my Uno cards. I want my Uno cards. So I gathered, they was in the middle of a game, and I gathered up my Uno cards.
It's really your fault, because you could have left the cards.
But I wasn't thinking at the time. I was just like, I guess I'll get the Uno cards. Give me the Uno cards. I should have left them. She's right. $5 for some Uno cards.
So yeah, for me, like, I've just learned that, or not I've learned, for me, when I feel like I am not getting the best treatment, I am not going to argue with anybody. I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything. And that's where I am in my life. Like, either you appreciate me for who I am or you don't. And I'm not going to make you do anything. So, yeah, I have learned to get up and go. I'll snatch my purse in a minute.
Get up and go.
How about you?
What was the question?
Okay, it was about your standards. How have your standards changed for now? Oh, also, I forgot to mention that, like, restaurant service, any type of service, me being in a store, anything, if it's off, if I am not welcome, if I don't feel welcome, I will get my purse and go. I don't care how much I need it. Good day. Okay, you go ahead.
I don't really know. I don't know if mine have changed much. I mean, I guess I've grown a little bit more to give grace that I didn't in the past.
So you've done like a reverse.
Yeah, because I used to always say, "Don't get mad, get even," and learn that that was incorrect. That ain't of God. That's of the devil. So that it has changed for me. The crazy thing is, I never got even with anybody. I just leave. But I've gotten to the point where it's like you just don't know what people are going through or what might be happening. So
yeah.
I try my best. Not perfect with it, but I do try my best to kind of give a little more grace.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's good. I think I have kind of mellowed out because when I was younger, I would kind of let things be said or things would kind of go over my head. People who really didn't fool with me like that, and I feel like I probably gave them more grace than I should have at that point. And then I got to a stage where everybody was getting it. You look the wrong way, and we gonna have some words. That's not the way to go either. So now I am just to this stage of, okay, let me collect my thoughts. You know, what is it? What is the situation that's going on? And then I get up and go. And then maybe, and usually in most situations, I'm able to go back to, especially family members and stuff like that, to these people, and we can have the conversation later. But I'm not going to tolerate any disrespect. And if I feel like, you're treating me as if you don't want me around, I'll do you a favor. So, yeah. Anything to add on that? Okay. So the next one is wisdom. I feel like we might have touched on that a little bit. Have you, I'm sorry, how have you gained wisdom? What I have down here for myself is I used to be an open book because that's how I thought everybody should be, just kind of honest and open about who they are, how their life is, willing to share anything at any time. And now I'm just to the point where I'm like, I don't know if that is necessarily wisdom. Like, I want to be able to encourage people and I want to share my testimony, but that's when God gives that release to me to share my certain parts of my life, certain parts of my testimony. And so I have to wait on that, and I have to wait for the right times to share with different people. No matter how much I may want to, and I may want this certain relationship to to thrive or whatever, but I have to slow down because I used to be like, oh my God, I just want to tell you everything about me and I want us to be best friends. Like now the older I get, I'm just like, okay, this my girl. I like you, but I'm also just a little more chill with it, if that makes sense.
Does.
Yeah. I think that was everything I said for that. Yeah. So how about you? I put down because the truth is you never know who you telling your business to. Like you just have to be very careful because you could be telling your business or showing them something and they could be your enemy and you don't know, so you don't want to give the devil any ammunition, that's how you say that, to use towards you. You're just sitting there like, oh yeah, I'm an open book child. No, that no, that's, oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, so the whole open book thing is just, I don't think it's the best way to go. The older that I get, I'm just like, I will share things when it's in my heart to release and share those things. How about you?
I enjoy listening to people that are knowledgeable about things that I necessarily don't know. So, and that doesn't necessarily mean you have to be older than me. You know, if you know some, know more about something,
Why
that's
is my
wonderful.
phone doing this? Hold on, babe. Start back at if you know something.
I'll just keep going. Uh, so for me, wisdom is just being able to take information from knowledgeable people and apply that to my life. And like I said, it does not, it could be a high school student for all I care. Wisdom comes from listening, understanding, being compassionate and caring for people and things that people are interested in. And so the way that I feel like I've grown in my wisdom is being able to listen better and
Mm-hmm.
understand more compared to, being not necessarily a know-it-all, but someone that thought that they might have known a little more than they should or that they did.
Mm-hmm.
So that was it for me.
That's good. That's good. So the last question is, have you overcome any fears? And for me, I believe that I have gained more courage over time. Um, and a little thing that helps me kind of come out of my shell more. I had a friend kind of tell me, and it was just like in passing, just like she was just like, "Girl, ain't nobody think about you." Yeah, and so like that's how I think about it now. When I'm doing something that I'm kind of fearful of, like I just tell myself, and not in like a degrading way, like I don't matter or anything like that. But I just feel like, I tell myself, hey, people ain't thinking about you like that, like you, like nobody's paying attention to you that much. And if they are, so what? Like, so
it, it made me think of my oldest son who came down and said, "If you ain't got haters, you ain't doing it right." And I'm like, "Bro, what are you talking about?" But hey, I
uh,
guess, I guess
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So just for me, like I'm learning not to put so much thought into, oh, what are these people going to think of me? They're going to see me. What are they going to say? Like, that has been a battle of mine. Even getting on here, like, I'm like, oh my gosh, how will they perceive me? And I just push through it. Um, what do I have here? Not in a way I don't. I think I said what I was supposed to say. How about you in fears?
for me, it's been anxiety
Mm-hmm.
and
You've overcome anxieties.
I think so. I think to an extent
Mm-hmm.
with my faith walk, it's been very helpful for me because I wasn't just an overly anxious person, but also when things went wrong, my anxiety would just take over, and it
Mm-hmm.
would,
Spin out of
yeah,
control.
yeah. And
uh,
I'd tie myself in a knot, worried about things, and
mm-hmm.
I was blessed enough here recently to find a book called Anxious for Nothing, which is a very good read
Mm-hmm.
that has helped me a lot, along with most importantly prayer and my prayer life and my walk in faith with God. So I think for me, the fear that I had was the anxiety, was being, you know, I think I've done it's not finished, but I'm much better now than I was just as recently as a month ago. So
Yeah. Yeah. I think you have done incredible work, working on yourself, working on your temper,
yeah, that
your
was
your ego. Because you've never, even with your temper, it was a silent temper. And that matters too. Like, I don't want them to think that you in here doing the worst. But there is a silent temper that is, it's very effective in the way you don't want to be. So yeah, that you don't let things shake you like you used to.
yeah. I mean, that's within the faith part,
Mm,
being truly giving myself to God and letting and being comfortable knowing that He's going to work all things for my good,
mm,
for the good of me. So I don't have to worry. I don't have to sit here and when I'm frustrated, I have someone that I can go to. I
mm,
have a source that I can talk to about my frustrations when I'm unhappy, when I'm sad. It's things that I did not know existed
mm.
prior.
Yeah.
So it's taken a while to get there. Took 40 years. Better late than never.
Yeah,
So
but I can see, like, I see all of the changes. Like, and you've had plenty of tests lately. The devil been on your heels. You had plenty of reasons to just explode in, work issues and just,
family,
yeah,
family outside of our house,
yeah,
not
yeah,
inside our house, but
yeah.
it's it's been a long time coming because like I said, that anxiety would it would just tie me into a knot,
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
would take me out for 2 3 days before I mean, I had got so anxious. So I'll tell a story. One time, the power in our house, like half the power of the house went out, and the other half, like certain things were working, certain things weren't working, and
Oh
I
God.
couldn't explain to the people that I needed to explain to, the utility company and all this, what was going on. So I had tied myself into a knot thinking that, okay, I'm going to have to live the rest of my life with half the power in the house. And like my anxiety just, and it got to the point where I was so
I remember that.
just,
And I think when you were going through that, you were silently going through it
mhm.
because
Yeah, nobody knew but me, but like I was just so worried that it would never
uh,
get fixed. And I don't understand. Looking back on it now, it's like, what? Like,
mm,
why would that be the case? But it just,
mm,
it, Anxious for Nothing is a great read. It is a Christian book
mm.
that uses God's word to help deal with anxiety. So if anybody's going through it, I would recommend reading it. And I checked it out at our local library. You don't have to
Mm.
buy it. Go look and see if your local library has it.
Yeah,
It is a great read.
yeah.
So
Going to the library too, now that you mentioned that, like, it's a good resource.
yeah.
Just to go and be in a different space, a quiet space.
Yeah. I mean, I told myself that I'm going to read a book a month, and I'm already, this is February, the beginning of February. I think I'm on my third or fourth book right now. Like
Period.
yeah, I'm,
Yeah, we're just doing so good. And I'm just so proud of you.
As are you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Listen, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for this woman right here.
Oh, thank
Like,
you,
I
babe.
wouldn't be who I am if it wasn't for her. So
Thank you.
I am blessed by God.
God, yeah. I was like, don't put me up there on that pedestal, but I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I think that is child who up there walking. I think I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, so I've been vlogging today and I got a little bit of your birthday. I think that's gonna be a separate video. But I got a little bit of your birthday, and today I vlogged. And on Thursday, I'm going on a college tour with my daughter. So I'm just grateful for this mindset and this space that I'm in to where I can, go out and freely do things. Although one part of me is like, oh, I can be here making a book or doing all of the other things that I normally do. But I'm like, no, let me go on this trip and enjoy my time with my daughter. So I'm going to vlog that. So I'm going to vlog that. And yeah, I think that's it for now. But you all can look forward to more vlogs and just us enjoying life and being more intentional about celebrating milestones that come up. And yeah. All right. Well, I will see you next time right here at Favorite Stationery. Goodbye.
Like and subscribe.